Hello. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So this is Sailee here, and I have Mindbrowser's CEO Ayush Jain with me today, and we are going to have a webinar on fabulous ways to market your mobile application. So I assume that everybody is here, and are you ready? So yes, I think everybody is here, so we can start with the webinar. So I assume that many of us present here already have a mobile application or you have an idea to develop one, or another reason might be that you're just curious to know what are the marketing ways to rightly market your mobile application. So actually, one thing you might have noticed is that once you launch the app into the market, the launching part is not that difficult. The most difficult part is to make your app work, to make your users download your app, to play with it, and then have revenue. So you have to make sure that you get marketing very correctly right from the beginning. So I would suggest that whatever efforts you put in your development, you should also have a budget allocated for your marketing. And with development, actually, a few developers were also asked that what is the most challenging aspect in mobile development process. And as we see in the pie chart, that distribution to multiple platforms, marketing and launch, these three take more than 50% of the entire development process. So although the developers are techno savvy and they have all the latest tools and SDK tools, what thing is more important is that you have to take marketing as a serious concern. And as you see here, that it is a difficult task. So even if you consider that what is the right time, like we ask the developers, so as so like what is the tentative time one should start with the marketing of an mobile application. So the answers were quite vague, where some of them thought like after the app is launched into the market or during the entire development phase or 6 months or 3 months. So it depends actually. But what we at Mindbrowser, we practice one thing is that we always tell our clients that you have to make sure that you have evaluated your idea. And by evaluation we mean that your idea has to be very unique. So you have to have an idea that people will use it and the app will not just be lying in their phones or in the app store. So your idea needs to be unique, and if your idea is not even unique, just in case, you have to make sure that your idea is solving, like your app is solving the user's problem. And usually what we see is people are very curious to develop mobile applications, so they start looking for ideas. But if you're not getting app ideas, you can do one thing, is that you can start looking for problems, so that app ideas will be generated in any which way, and then you can start developing the mobile app. So your app needs to be unique, as well as it needs to solve your users problems. And one of the important point is that it should also overhaul the traditional concepts. By this, I mean that today in the market we see that there are a lot of photography apps. So your app should have features that the other apps don't have. So I would like to just explain all these points all together by taking a simple example of an app. So this is a sleeping time app. Its basic concern is that it's an alarm clock. So in this, what this app basically works on, accelerometers and motion detectors in your iPhones and Android phones. And the idea is not that unique, but I think what makes this app unique is the sleeping lab, which you can see. So the sleeping lab, it actually detects various phases during your sleep and like during the night, and then it gives a detailed view of all those phases in this graph. So though the idea is not unique, yes, they have done something, they have implemented a special algorithm for it, a wake-up algorithm which solves your users' problems. And in the market, we usually don't see alarm clock applications where they give you such detailed stats. So yes, they have like changed the concept, the traditional concept of alarm clocks. So you have to have these three questions answered when you evaluate your idea. Also, you can also club these three questions along with the 5 C's. So by 5 C's, they're very simple. So the first is competition. So you might be knowing your competitors. So that's a very important point. So you have to check their reviews. So if they have negative reviews, they can be your positive points. So competition you need to analyze. Cost, maybe you can ask a developer friend of yours for an estimated cost. The target audience for your application, and complexity. So now actually complexity would be depending on how much complexity you can handle in your application. Are you going to work full time, or are you going to work just part time? And what will be the team strength, or do you have funds, or you want, are you going to consider crowdfunding? Or so you have to think on this, like how much complexity you can handle. And the last is coolness. So coolness is something that usually youngsters or even business people will actually opt for apps which are more cool than apps which lack in features. So you have to make sure that whatever app you make, it's really cool. So I think these were the ideas where you have to basically evaluate your idea and then you go for its promotion. So now Ayush will explain you about the promotion strategies. So let's see them one by one.
Hello all, this is Ayush and thank you so much for coming to our webinar. So till now we've actually visited some of the initial aspects which Sailee has defined, like what are the things that you should take into consideration before actually zeroing in on the idea. So idea should be unique, or it should be solving some problem, or it should be doing something, changing the way it has been done before. So those are some of the things you need to consider, and those are the prequel to any successful idea. Now once you have zeroed in on the idea, now we have created a small promotional mix, and we are going to take these points one by one, where each of them we would explain with a quick summary about it, how it is done, and follow it up with an example. So promotional mix, the number one thing that you can do to start promoting your application is a successful email marketing campaign. An email marketing campaign is the most basic, the most simple, still holds the most effective way of marketing. So to have an effective email marketing, you just need to start with your email list, try and see your Gmail, your Outlook contacts, put them up at one place, and use maybe a software just like MailChimp or something, and define an email to be able to connect with your target audience and with people in your list. So once you are starting writing an email, this is some of the things that we have found in our experience that you need to focus upon. The most effective aspect of any email is its subject line, with which you should give a lot of emphasis, followed by content, a clear call to action, a landing page, a day and time, and personalization. So here's an example of email of an application that we did, uploaded, that we created by the name Sailee. So Sailee is actually a Bluetooth based weighing scale that allows you to calculate and manage your calorie intake within a day. So whatever you eat, you can just put it up on your scale and make sure that you are eating the right amount of calories in a single day. So if you would see, the email for Sailee has different parts to it, different segments to it, just like I mentioned. So a compelling headline, now don't miss a single calorie, followed by some content, a quick content telling about how it will help, personalization, that you see that it is an email which is personalized for Peter and not something like hello sir or something, or hello team. Then a link for the landing page is very clear. Visit our website sailee.com, a call to action to download the app on the App Store, and brand awareness at the end to make sure that people see that they can visit and they can see that Sailee Facebook page and Twitter page are already active and other people have already downloaded the application, because people follow other people. People buy things which other people buy, knowingly or unknowingly. They just do it throughout the world for any product. And that brings me to my next segment, which is social media. We all live social. We all do things socially. We all do share. We all do things to be more social. So social media is one of the platforms that needs to be leveraged. And there are some quick strategies that um, we are going to cover today. So first of all, if you are to get successful on your social media strategy, these are three things you need to focus upon. Starting with finding out your target audience, finding out where your target audience lies. Are they people in school? Are they people in college? Or are they people working? Or are these people, let's single moms maybe, depending on your idea. So find out the right people, deliver engagement to them. Social media is definitely very crowded. A million apps have a million Facebook pages and have a million Twitter accounts. So you have to deliver engagement. It's not a one-time thing. You just get an account and think that probably people would hop on, but it's more or less something you need to do slowly and slowly, day out and day in. Every day you have to focus, and every day you have to create new opportunities for engagement with the audience. How you do that? By creating competitions, by creating new content, by creating new value for those who are already part of your social media page, so that they share, they find a reason that they find your app cool and they share. So you have to keep on delivering engagement through different avenues. In the past, for some of the applications that we have worked upon, we have also created a social media strategy for them and tried to create some sort of engagement for the initial users. Then another very important aspect that I found many applications or many strategies missing is piggy banking on existing networks. What it means is that you do not need to create your own social network every time, but you have or your base of users every time. But what you have to do is probably make use of the networks that already exist. And if you would see, it seems so obvious when I give you the examples. Airbnb piggybacks on the data of Craigslist. WhatsApp piggybacks on the data of our mobile contacts. Instagram piggybacks on the data of Facebook. Facebook itself piggybacked on the data of MySpace. So each of these successful applications have mostly piggybacked on the networks that already exist and tried to create value on top of the existing network. Even Foursquare, they piggyback a lot on the network of Facebook, because Facebook using people actually use Foursquare, and you check in through Foursquare and share it on Facebook. So eventually Foursquare users are able to reach out to audience or the network that is already existing on Facebook. So that is very important. So every time when you're thinking of a new application, new idea, try to see if your idea can leverage the existing social networks. If your idea can use or add value to any existing social network or the way things are done, then you definitely have a winner. I have one more example that I just remember. You remember PayPal. In the PayPal initial days, they were actually a payment platform that was used on eBay. Actually, eBay had a cumbersome payment process, and PayPal actually came up with a very useful process which was used by eBay users. So PayPal piggybacked on eBay. Now I have an example here of Radio Shack that I would like to share with you. It's a very amusing story. Radio Shack on Twitter, they started a campaign, hashtag if I had superpowers, and they asked all their users to actually click a picture of them and share it on Twitter with the hashtag if I had superpowers, and just do that. Radio Shack told users that you will have a surprise once you do that, and users started doing it. Slowly and slowly, 10 users, 20 users started doing it. And once they did it, they found that Radio Shack actually produced a very cool image of them, converted their simple image into a superhero, and retweeted it back. So this became a very amusing and very interesting takeaway for users, and they started putting their more pictures, telling their friends, who shared even more pictures, and we affect 65 million impressions within 24 hours about Radio Shack. So isn't it wow? So that's the sort of engagements you need to create. Not all engagements go successful, of course, but it's something you need to do day in and day out. As I mentioned, you need to do slowly. Keep on developing your social networks. Keep on developing your social page, and eventually you find one day when everything falls into place, and you just start a campaign which becomes viral. Next on my line after visiting email marketing and social media strategy is App Store optimization. I'll be quick on this one. App Store optimization means that when you are submitting any application, you need to make sure that you are putting it into the right category by the right title, by the right category, by the right keywords, by the right screenshots, and by putting a really good video. Because end of the day, your apps are like put into a shopping mall where there are millions of applications put on the same shelf. So you need to make sure that they shine out and they actually are different from the competitors. They are actually picked up by your customers. So how you can do it, a small example I would like to show you is that of Seven. So Seven is a popular application used for download music. Now I would like to show you that this is the sort of what you see on the left hand side is a small form. This is the sort of form you get when you submit any application on the App Store. It's so bland and it's so simple, but Seven has made most use of it by making sure highlighting their social links, by making sure that they make use of enough space, by putting up a proper content there, by creating an engagement, by putting their Twitter and Facebook account so that people feel that okay, this is a good application, they have a good page, they can visit that page, get convinced that this is an application which I could pay for, and they go ahead with it. So you have to make sure that your apps are optimized and you do not miss this small thing which I see sometimes many applications miss: choosing the right category and choosing the right keywords, putting the right screenshots, and putting a good promotional video on your app store, because that's where people would download your application and that's where people would choose. It would all come down to that page. So these are three strategies. The fourth one, we would like to discuss a bit about press release, which I think Sailee would be the right person because she's already taking care of her press releases at Mind Browser. So Sailee, for you.
Yeah, thanks, Ayush. So coming to press releases now, one thing you need to remember is that there's a golden rule in launching your press releases, and that would be like once you have decided the launch date of your app, you have to make sure that you are on the top of the like all the news wires way before actually the app when the app is released. So for example, if your app is to be launched in September, make sure that you are on all these news wires in say June or July or somewhere in between. So that's when actually your target audience will start anticipating the launch of your application, and that's how actually it will create a buzz. So in press releases, you have a lot of options these days. The first and the very basic will be making your pitch perfect, because when you approach any journalist or any review site, the first thing that's going to catch you is your pitch. So you have to specify a few things in your pitch, maybe what's the target audience and how they are going to benefit from your app, what's in your app that's not there in the existing app market. So you have to polish your pitch basically, and you can also connect with journalists. You have to start networking with all these journalists, say journalists who write in your domain, and you can contact review sites. For example, if you have an app which is just made for iPad, it's like an iPad application, you can contact review sites which review only iPad applications. If you have an app based on kids education, then you can approach magazine editors or say any other like other journalists who specify only or who are specialized only in reviewing kids apps for kids. So that will really be helpful. and that will really boost your presence in the app ecosystem. And one of the emerging press release trends is having an infographic, because infographic these days, what we've observed is that people don't take pains to read all those words in a press release. An infographic will be the best possible use of publishing your press release and making people know about your app. So, and one of the positive points of infographic will be you can post it on various social networks. So, because if you opt for paid press releases, so maybe there are sharing options, but an infographic will create a little more buzz and it will be more effective. And promotional videos, if you have enough budget, you can go for promotional videos and make sure that you post it on your app store landing page also, so that your users will also get to check out the working of your mobile app besides the screenshots. So this was actually one press release which I remember is that of Word Hack. Just last week this app got released, but they released in the Canadian iTunes, and the reason behind this was like the owners said that instead of directly launching it into the American iTunes, they launched it in the Canadian iTunes because they thought that the Canadian people are not that different than the Americans when it comes to English speaking. So what point we can take from this press release is that you can always opt for different iTunes. You can just cannot stick to say Google Play and US iTunes. So it depends on market. So you can obviously have Canadian or any other country's iTunes and use it as a test bed, as a beta release for your app, and then after analyzing it, then maybe you can just with just tips and bits you can again launch it into the main target audience. So what buzz this has created is that now even the Americans are anticipating that when will Word Hack be launched in America. So that's what you can do with your application too. So here's an example of a simple application. It's a to-do app called Create. So they had a very good strategy actually in press release. So they distributed promo codes, and the promo codes were distributed to all the journalists and media people. So actually they didn't go to each one of them and they say send to them their PR kits. So they actually prepared these teaser videos and promo codes which were distributed. So the journalists actually downloaded the application for free and then they got instant reviews. So you need to have a strategy if you're approaching journalists, if you're having a PR. So everything is based on a strategy and your target audience. And if at all you're not able to get in touch with all these journalists, one sure shot way will be to attending, say, yeah, and the results were, say, it increased to, like, it created a lot of buzz. So, yes, that's a takeaway for creating strategies for PR also. And yes, I was saying that if at all you're not able to get in touch with all these journalists, you can obviously start attending events, because that's where you will be having an extremely larger audience base and you will be able to showcase your app even more prominently. So what all you can do in an app, like in an app event, is that you can collaborate with all these communities or you can sponsor events, and sponsoring events actually would help you to gain traction just way before your app is released. And if you're attending an event, make sure that you're just not selling your app immediately. Start networking with media, like all the journalists, media people. You can just have a coffee with them, and then in the like mere communication, then if they think that yes, you can be the startup which they can cover, then they will get back to you. So it's not like if you're attending an event you just have to sell your product. So that's not how it works. And you can obviously, to gain attraction, as we see in the picture, that you can wear some headgears or you can distribute some freebies which will be like gentle reminders to pull your users back to your app when it is actually launched in the market. So this is how actually marketing will take you to a position where your app will start getting viral if you have all these strategies in place. So I think we've covered much more like all the examples which give you a clear insight. And there's one more example I would like to share, that's of event marketing. And this app, I'm very sure everybody is really, like, everybody has Snapchat in their phones. So what Snapchat introduced was they collaborated with Stanford University, and as we all know that the main aim of Snapchat is that it's into taking ephemeral selfies. So when they actually approached Stanford University, they didn't get enough traction to it. So the owners changed their strategy and they decided to approach high school students. So the teenagers actually, they thought this app was a lot of more fun. So the results were that the app actually, it created a lot of buzz. And then actually the chain got, it got increased, that from one high school to another high school and then the universities. And today Snapchat has gone global, everybody is using it. So it starts from a very small strategy, but obviously it will take you and it will give you some higher results. So I think just a few success stories, and we have taken very good points from all these so that we can implement it in our own strategy. So, right, Ayush?
Yeah, definitely. So to conclude, basically, we have today covered 5 important strategies, starting from email, then social, then app store optimization, then PR, and then event marketing. Now, what I have done on this slide, and this is going to be our second last slide of the day, is basically scaling them up into the order of least effective to most effective, while being least costly to most costly. And tada, that's the surprise. So the most effective ones are actually the least costly ones, and the least effective ones are actually the most costly ones. Starting from email, then social media, the ASO, the press release, the event marketing, and paid ads. Emails, free for you. Send it as much as possible. Of course, do not disturb people, but as much as possible from the point you think that you can send to people, and try and make them more personal. It does not take any money. You can just make sure that your emails are personal and add value to the reader. Going to social media, again free to create any account, again free to engage audience. Just make it engaging. App store optimization does not take any money again. Just make sure that you put in the right words when you are actually putting in the words. Moving to press releases, more or less free, but sometimes you have to pay to be able to reach out to greater networks or to be able to um, put into some curated lists. Event marketing, again mostly free. If you are actually having some smart idea and you can convince the event owners that they give you a pass, you can get it free again. And then paid ads, of course you have to pay. They are costly and they are very less effective as compared to the other four, because with paid ads everybody knows it's an ad. So this is the order that you should focus upon if you are looking forward for your strategy. Start from email, move to social media, do the ASO, do the press releases, and then once you have something, some returns coming out of the first four, probably go for the next two, even marketing and paid ads. Now, this is a quick slide we've created to show you if you had $1,000 and if you were to give us your $1,000, how would we distribute it within different channels, and how would we make sure to optimize the distribution of $1,000 spent on marketing. So this is how a typical spend, which we think could be done, uh, distributed onto different channels, starting from press release because they are very effective, going on the curated list. Basically, as I mentioned, press releases are mostly free, but definitely sometimes it takes money to buy coffee for a reporter or to do a favor to a reporter, maybe buy a drink as well. So press releases, go for it. Go for app recommendation programs, like if there are some curated programs, like um, there are a lot of websites like Best Web Designs or App Opera. You have to cover them as well. And then Facebook targeted ads you can do. You can see the return for $100 if you're getting users spend more. Localization, find out locally what are the shops, what are the communities possible in your area where probably you can put up a pamphlet or put up some sort of an advertisement or partner with them. Promoted tweets, again similar to Facebook, just do a bit, see if the returns are coming, because returns are definitely hard on the networks, they are overcrowded. And then spend a bit on getting referrals, or again taking out someone influential for a dinner or a party or a quick coffee, and making sure that they have a good experience with you, they understand your app, and maybe tweet about it, write about it, or spread about it. So this is all from us today, and we would definitely like to move from here towards questions, because I think from the questions we can further enhance our discussion, and please feel free to ask your question. So you can raise hand probably if you want to ask a question, and we would be happy to answer. Yes, Sandeep has a question here. Yes, Sandeep, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, we have launched our app on Android and iOS both simultaneously. We are getting good response from the mostly Android. Okay. Recently, we have launched paid app also. Can we check the who are buying our apps? I am unable to see that.
Okay. So on that, I think on the App Store, they provide certain statistics about how many users have downloaded your application and everything. But if you want to really find who is actually buying it, probably in your application only you have to ask them to register, maybe put a login screen or something, so that when users register, you get their emails and you can put it on a database. So that is something you have to do at your end. It is not possible like directly to find.
Yeah, previously I got a mail from you, I think so, mindbrowser.com. Actually, we launched a paid app. Now we would like to go for promotion. So I heard about your presentation, everything, right? So we are looking for more sales right now.
Sandeep, just a second. Actually, your voice is coming very low. Can you please check at your end?
Okay. Hello.
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. Yeah, actually we have launched paid version. We are providing, actually we are into e-learning, like primary education.
Okay.
Especially you are from, your company is operating from India or US?
Both places actually. So we have a strategy team based in USA in Amherst.
Okay.
And we have a development team that is based out of Pune in India.
Okay. Okay. We actually most of our downloads from US only.
Okay.
Very less from the India. Not even 100 also.
Okay.
Out of 40,000 we got right now.
Okay.
We are getting sales also from the US market.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the best ways we have to go there? And so we want to start with some initiations, want to go for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You said the press launches and everything. Is there possibilities from your side?
Possibilities to be able to help you, you mean?
Yeah, to visible to more people and get the more sales in terms of how we can move forward.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we would actually like to first understand what all initiatives you have already done and which of them you have found to be a bit effective for your target audience. Even if you do not have this matrix, we may have to start with something, maybe starting with probably targeting an event in US for e-learning, and then try and find the return on investment on it. I think that could be my quick answer. But if you need probably details, I think we can discuss more about your product and find out a solution.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Right now we haven't taken any initiation because almost this is the end of the academic year. We are going to most probably in US also.
Yes.
Just we launched in the App Store. We are getting downloads.
Okay.
By church only. We haven't taken any initiations.
Okay. That's a good sign, in fact. I would tell you
Huh.
that 40,000 is a very good sign if you have not taken any initiatives and you're still getting so
To be
much.
frankly, we haven't taken anything. That's from the first day onwards, we are getting daily good number of downloads. Also, rating also very good because we are confident that the product speaks something about the us.
Yeah, that's very, very good, I must say. I mean, I would definitely like to see your application later.
Yeah.
I think if it is getting so much of traction without any initiatives done from your side, definitely it must be
Yes.
having a good potential. No doubt about
Now we are planning because almost by month end, they in US also holidays, primary education. I think so. Again, this it starts from September.
it. So, your
So
application is only for primary education or is it for colleges and universities as well?
primary education, especially mathematics,
Okay,
we are specialized into the particular subject.
okay,
It is more practicing problems. It's a more interactive, and compared to the apps available in the web store or app store, our app is more interactive and engaged one. That's we are getting a good response.
okay. Definitely.
So we are giving at the cost of $10 for one time.
Okay. Definitely.
In free version, yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, maybe we can definitely discuss your particular application.
Hmm.
Maybe outside the webinar, you can send me a mail, and I would
Yeah.
definitely like to see the application. And
Okay.
it's a very good result you have achieved without marketing. Definitely, there are opportunities to start with. You should definitely go for some sort of an event locally. Maybe we can connect with some some communities in education or maybe the schools directly, and that can be
Yes.
a good start that I can think of right now.
Yeah, sure. So, okay, I got a mail from some main browser. Okay, I will reply to that one. Could you check it and give me the possibilities how we can work?
Yes, definitely. I'll revert back to you, and we can take things.
So, okay, and the second is my another question I have. Can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Actually, at the same time, there is a total number of downloads and the total number of installations, right? No, current installations.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly we are like to 55 to 60%. Because we are lacking of, we are not into the iPhone, sorry, Android phones and iPhones.
Okay. Can you explain it
Due
to
to
me?
that,
Yeah.
yeah, actually our app will work for the tablets only, 7-inch and above,
Okay.
Android. Android, especially Android, we are getting more downloads,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time we are getting the uninstallations
Okay.
because of what we thought. This because of the people are searching in Android mobile,
Mm-hmm.
it is not suitable for that. Actually, we didn't optimize it because we don't use the native Android.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we used a third-party application. Because of that, we got some. So how to engage the audience is the most important. Okay, some points you covered in that. Right. So especially in the app, how can we improve the installation rate also?
See, there are no alternatives to quality, I would say. So,
Okay.
if you were to ask me short answer, the short answer is definitely you have to optimize because, if you are in the shoes of the customer and you download any application on your phone, it does not looks nice on your phone. You just don't use it
Yeah.
and you uninstall it. So there's no
Yes.
alternative. You have to optimize.
Okay.
Maybe we can check what tools you are using and if it allows for a quick customization. Otherwise, maybe we have to build it quickly with customized screens. But we will have
Yeah.
to.
Is there any tools to tracking the from how the people are downloading and how much time they are spending? How why they are? So okay, that's why. Is there any tools for that?
Yeah, there are. Have you used any tool? Otherwise, like Flurry is a tool you can start with. It's the most popular. Um,
What is the name?
Flurry, spelled as F as in Florida, L as in
Okay.
Los Angeles, U as in
Okay.
um, under,
Okay.
double R for rows, and Y for yes.
Okay.
You can check this out. Flurry code will be needed to be integrated inside your application code. It usually does not take too much time. Again,
Okay.
depending
This
on
is the website or this is the.
this is the tool. You can go on the website. It's a SDK.
Okay.
It's a library actually, and certain code is
Okay.
there
Okay.
that has to be integrated.
Flurry. FLURRY. Right.
Yes, that's correct.
And can I write anything beyond that? Okay, is the flurry.com or site or okay?
You can
I
just
check
Google
into
it.
the?
I'm not sure about their
Okay.
it's like
Okay. Okay.
maybe it's .co or .com. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So, but it's very
Okay.
popular, and what you will get is screen by screen actions of users. So basically, you can integrate the code on different screens, and you can find out which screen people spend the most time, which screen they closed the application most, or which screen they went to after the first screen. So those all actions can then be recorded and can be seen.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Like how we are using Google Analytics, it will help us to get the some analytics, right?
Yes,
Flurry tool. Okay.
that's correct.
Is there any other best tools from your side? Is the only Flurry?
There are actually many. In fact, if you would, try to find, there would be more than 20, 30 companies that are doing this work. But Flurry is
Okay.
actually most comprehensive. It has got the biggest ecosystem as well. A lot of developers you can easily find to be able to
Okay.
handle Flurry. It's just like
Mhm.
Google Analytics is for websites. Flurry is mostly used in mobile apps. So I think start with this one. If you still think you need something more, you can look for more niche kind of tools which can provide something very specific, but they could be limited in scope.
Okay. Sure. Sure. We will check it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Any other questions that anyone else would like to ask? Maybe you guys can raise hands. So you guys can actually reach out to us at a later date as well, maybe over email or maybe adding us to to your Skype or by phone. We will send you our details later as a follow up, and we will send you the recording of the webinar as well, so you can listen to it later as well if you would like. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us. It's been really great that you guys were able to come at such short notice and be able to take out time for this brief presentation. Thank you so much. Have a very good day ahead. Thank you and cheers.